Welcome to the Horror Junkies podcast.
Welcome to the. Fuck! That dog fucked me up.
The goddamn
Fuck it.
dog.
We're doing it live. Welcome to the
Goddamn
Horror Junkies
dog.
podcast. The podcast we discuss all things horror. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Pat.
I'm Dylan.
Dude, I'm Jorge.
We tried something new.
What the
A
fuck?
dog came out of nowhere. It said, "Hello, fuck you very much. I'm in your podcast." We're here. We're doing it live. Shit happens.
Dude, I love that the whole lead up to that, you could just see the stress on Mike's face, like, oh, dude, I'm gonna fuck this up. Like, dude, you could just,
Yeah,
you
for
can see
real.
the concern on his face. Like,
I was
oh,
like,
this is
shit,
not
we
gonna
didn't
go
practice this. We didn't plan for this.
No. I'm using this fucking console that might as well be powered by gigawatts. I have no idea what it is. All I know is that I can do this now.
Garbage day. Of all the people to give the power to, why?
That's-
Why
Did
is
we give it to
Dylan?
Dylan?
That's
I
just
have no
one
idea.
button. I have
Because the people ask
That's
for
just
it.
one of the millions of
I
buttons.
have 15 more buttons to go.
Jesus Christ.
Wait. Did you put the shame bell on there though?
No, but that can be added. That can be
Oh,
added.
it's going to be fucking added.
Don't
The
worry.
shame bell.
Don't worry. I'll ring it on myself.
I just,
Don't worry.
I just shot myself in the foot. I could already tell.
So yeah, we're gonna have fucking soundtracks now because you just when our show couldn't get any more obnoxious.
Fools, perilous fools, hubris.
Who allowed us to buy this technology?
Hubris, such hubris.
Oh man, but welcome to the show. We're back. It's
Yeah.
another week. We weren't there last week. Some shit happened. We were busy boys. Dylan
Yes, we
went
were
to the
busy.
goddamn mountains
Yeah,
where he became a goth cowboy.
I didn't become.
I showed up on the
I've
wrong
been.
day.
I've been. Okay, this is just. I recently had the financial capital injection to bring the ensemble together, but it is a hit for sure.
I would say that you have a bright future ahead of you of being a DJ based solely on your outfit.
Yeah, you know.
It's pretty top notch.
Yeah, fucking Marshmallow can do it. Why can't I? Shit.
Wedding DJ
Um,
Dylan about to take over.
DJ Dylan.
I'm just gonna get
It's in the
drunk off
game.
cough syrup. All right, this next one's a hit.
But no, we got some fun stuff planned. You know, George picked some movies for us to watch and review, and I think the first movie we'll get into it a little bit later, but I called him within the first 5 minutes. I think I called everyone in the first 5 minutes. I was
did you?
like frantically calling everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
like-
You did do that.
Um,
You hit us all up, and I was like, "Damn, this movie must be a heater."
Yeah, for real.
it
Dude,
definitely was.
I haven't watched it in a while, and like even at the beginning, I was like, oh shit.
I thought,
That
George,
happened.
I
Like,
thought George was gonna say
right
he
out the
didn't
fucking
watch it.
gate.
But before we get into that, I did want to take some time because like 2 weeks ago, Dylan didn't come with us because he's out. I think you were out of town that weekend. You were in New York.
I was in New York. Yeah.
Me, Jorge, and Pat, and some other people went to a haunted trail. You guys remember that?
Sir
You guys
Henry's.
not?
Yeah,
we went over to
Did-
Sir Henry's.
I don't
trail-
even remember. It's
trail.
like, did we even have an episode like after?
No, we
Spooky, after
didn't.
Sir Henry's. Like I'm just like
Um,
I don't even know where we're at anymore. What is
we
time?
both. Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun. Thank you, people over there at Sir Henry's, for allowing us to come and hang out and do your haunt. We had a fucking fantastic time.
The Sheet Ghost had a fan.
Oh yeah, George put on the Sheet Ghost, and like within 5 minutes, someone was like, "Is that the HJ Sheet Ghost?"
Oh yeah.
And we were like, "Holy shit!"
Oh yeah.
Which is just crazy in itself because you literally had that account for maybe
Like
a week and a
less,
half,
less
if
than
that.
a week. At the time, it was
Um,
like less than a week.
But it was really fun. I mean, the guy, I loved it. I thought the trail, specifically the one, I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. But the one where we were in the woods for like a good 5 minutes. I was like,
Oh, yeah,
what
that
the
one was
fuck? I thought we were just like aimlessly walking into the middle of nowhere at that point.
We just gotta say
um,
that Mike is the most polite person, even when he gets scared.
Yeah.
This man got scared and went, "God damn it, sir!"
We filmed it though. So we posted that on our YouTube. We did a quick little film. It's very dark. I wish I would have bought the light that I bought the day after for that night, but it's whatever. It's a learning curve. Next year when we do Haunty Haunts, we'll have light on us so we actually see our faces and shit.
Yeah, that could help.
Dylan, I am kind of glad you did not come because there was not because I didn't want you there, but there was a haunt that required us not only to walk up steps, walk through a rickety bridge. At the end was a shark attack that made the platform moved.
They like kind of collapsed a little bit.
Yeah,
that would have
sucked right in his mouth.
That would have been my ADA fucking nightmare from hell.
He just would have collapsed over the railing, just whoop.
And I give props, man. They had fucking
nothing scarier than weak hamstrings.
But they had like actual like rotten fish in there, Dylan. We really didn't go like tell you much about it, but like you're walking through like this Captain's Fury house, and a good portion of it just reeks of bad tuna.
I'd be all right with that.
It was rough. It was like
rough.
It was rough. Like it was cool at first, and like halfway through your house, you're like, "All right, I'm fucking over this, dude."
You're like, I'm fucking done, man.
I've been fishing pretty much my whole life. Fish smells don't bother me. Real fishy, strong, pungent smells like that.
Yeah, no, well, us city folk, that shit was heinous.
That's the real terror,
man. I did a couple. I mean, what'd you guys end up doing for Halloween? Because we never really. This was going to be our Halloween episode, and then it didn't.
Yeah.
I was in New York for Halloween. I was in Brooklyn.
Yeah, so then you were doing all them
and it was fun.
Cemetery.
Yeah, we went to Greenpoint Cemetery, I think it's called.
How was that?
It was huge. It's fucking massive, but it's very beautiful cemetery for sure. It's so big that like you have to drive through it. You could walk it, but it's fucking massive. Like,
yeah, no, I saw your video. I was like, holy shit.
We went there.
It was wild.
We went to Son of Sam's apartment in Yonkers, and we went to another place where like the Son of Sam cult would gather and like sacrifice animals and stuff. Or what my buddy Jeff told me is apparently it's from the Netflix documentary that I have not seen that I need to see. I'm going to see it at some point.
That's always fun.
I did that. Then went back to his place and chilled out. Then we went to a show at a new venue in Brooklyn called Brooklyn Made, and we went and saw this group called Boy Harsher, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, Boy Harsher's dope.
Yes, they were very good.
What the fuck did we end up doing? We hung out that was the night we all hung out together, right, Pat?
Hey, we went to Whippoorwill.
At the Whippoorwill, and then we went to Mad.
That's what we did for Halloween.
Yeah, we just hung out outside. It was cool.
Fun.
So like, it was actually fun. Like in Florida, it never gets cold. So unless it's like later in the season,
much
like
later.
December, first week of January. But like in like the last couple of weeks, it's been like, dare we say it, in the low 60s, and to us Floridians, that's cool, cold weather.
Oh, it's been amazing. I have loved every little bit of it.
Yeah, it's been not miserable to sit on my back porch.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, you can throw a hoodie on it, and it's just enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got the sniffles.
And now George has got the sniffles. Just a quick show updates. A lot, like we kind of made a post about this on our story and shit. With everything. That's it. We're fucking done. No, I'm in the process of moving, so I'm going to be moving to South Florida for a bit, and then moving to San Francisco. So in that meantime, we may have small delays in like the shows coming out, just because there's a lot of things going on. So just bear with us, people.
But we're not going away. We're not going away. We're here.
We're not breaking up. We just need some space.
Exactly. We need more space. We're already pretty separated, but we need even more space.
I'm more separated than all of y'all, and then let me tell you something. It's pretty good. It's pretty great.
The cool thing is next season, haunt season, hopefully you guys can come up to California. We can go to Knoxbury's Scary Farm and go to Howling Horror Nights in LA.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything ever. I'll come.
Yeah,
I am going to save all my pennies.
You're damn right. You and Pat and Dylan can take a road trip.
No, I'm flying.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, no,
if you think I'm going to be caught in a car across country with Pat, you're out of your goddamn mind.
That's a horror movie in his damn self.
Yeah, you guys get lost somewhere in Texas, and then
I'd have lung cancer by the end of the fucking trip. He's just going to be in the back ripping cigs, and I'll be like, "Hey man, do you want to drive?" And he'll be like, "Dude, I don't drive."
That's exactly how it would go down.
But I guess that's really anything else anyone wants to talk about before we fucking get into the grits and gravy.
Any cool movies or TV shows coming out that anyone needs to keep an eye out
I'm
for?
caught up with Chucky.
I'm not.
Chucky's wild, dude.
I still only saw the
it's so
first
good.
episode.
It
What
keeps
episode are you
getting
on?
better and better.
I only seen the first episode.
Boo.
I just haven't had time to watch it. I'm
I
sorry.
still haven't
Damn.
finished Squid Game. I watched the 5th episode last night, and I was just like, God, do I
Jesus,
even care anymore? Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
I've just been watching like rom-coms.
Oh, like
I just
what?
got done watching.
What are you watching?
We were watching. Rumor has it.
What
Hey.
is?
Jennifer Aniston.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, that's a
Yeah.
low key one.
Yeah, we watched The
Yeah.
Holiday the other night.
Oh shit! Now that
Classic.
one,
Classic.
yeah, that's a classic.
Jack Black's only serious movie ever.
No, he was in a movie about bird watching with I think Owen Wilson and Steve Martin.
I've never
Yeah, what
seen
movie
the
was that? That was
It
Bird
was-
Watchers.
No, it wasn't called Bird Watchers.
I mean,
Should have been
feels
called
like it
Bird
should
Watchers.
be.
Yeah, I guess it should. I guess if every title emulated its plot, sure, why not? But
Well, if it wasn't, it is now.
it's
Um,
it's not the Wolf of Wall Street. There's wolves running amok on Wall Street. Like,
I mean, there's not much it's been really released. I mean, we have the new Scream movie coming out in January.
Black Phone.
Clifford the Big Red Dog this week.
Yeah,
Shut the
that's
fuck up.
I heard he takes Manhattan. That's pretty interesting, though. Jason did it. Now Clifford.
no Clifford.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Someone's got to do it.
yeah, someone's got to do it. Might as well be a big red dog.
The big red dog. But I don't really think there's much really going on.
Not really.
I think we're on that like final like spooky hot like
We're on that Halloween
fumes.
hangover. It's that
Yeah.
Halloween hangover.
Shit's coming though. I mean, just because it's the winter time don't mean you don't gotta stop doing your spooky season stuff, because there's some great movies coming. And we'll go ahead and announce it here. All of December, Patrick, take it away.
We're all doing Japanese and Korean horror movies.
Yeah.
We're gonna
So get
do
ready for
a
some
month
weird
long.
shit.
I
Tokyo
am
Gore
excited.
Police.
I guarantee you, I
Killer.
haven't seen any of them.
Oh, yeah,
I
Patrick's
tried to get you to watch
Patrick's got a
one.
good list.
I
we
tried to
doing
get Dylan
Train
to
to
watch
Busan?
one. Yes, it's on the list.
Are we doing
tried to get-
Peninsula too?
I tried to get Dylan to watch one. He's like, I have to eat words. Nah.
Oh, yeah. All
Yeah,
these
fuck that
movies, you're gonna have
shit.
to Read words.
What, Joe
we're gonna
Biden's
watch-
president?
we're
You think I'm
gonna
gonna start
watch
reading words now? Fuck that.
Is Pulse on the show on the list?
Yes, it is.
Good. Pulse is really good.
That's what I've
I'm
heard.
debating if we should do a comparison of the American remake, but I kind of want to just keep it
No.
Would you-
Japanese. and
Would you
Korean
count The
movies.
Host as a movie like that? Because I've never seen The Host either.
The Host is good.
The
Yeah,
Host is really
that's a
good. The
Bong
Host is,
Joon-ho
from
movie.
the
Yeah,
same director of
yeah, Bong Joon-ho.
Train, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Parasite.
No, he did Parasite. He did Snowpiercer. Oakjaw.
He did all great films.
Yeah, he's
Nothing
he's
but great
awesome.
things.
He's awesome.
But yeah, so if you're into that weird shit, get ready for it. It's gonna be really weird. It's gonna be a lot of things probably you've never seen before, because Patrick watches a lot of underground, very minimal B-rated Japanese horror films.
I do not, so I need Pat to guide me.
And we're
I
gonna
got you.
kind of
I'm
keep
excited though.
Yeah, and we're gonna kind of me and Patrick kind of talked about this, and it's just out an idea we're having. We're gonna try to keep trying to do that, where we we'll talk about the mainstream movies and every now and then, but we really want to focus on like those weird movies that no one really watches that are really good, hidden gems.
Like House and House 2.
Yeah, like we'll still talk about Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, but just so many people talk about those films, and so many.
It's been done.
There's a
so
lot of
many-
movies.
There's so fucking many.
Yeah,
podcasts
there's a lot of
that
movies
talk
that have
about those
never
movies.
been discussed that are always just left in the shadow realm, and that are really good. So that's an idea Patrick and I had one night when everyone was getting drunk and we were drinking Dr. Pepper.
Hell yeah.
But let's get into this baloney show, man. George, what films did you pick for us this week?
Wait, can we save that for the last?
What?
Please,
What?
can we save that review for the last review for this
What?
episode?
What are you
The
talking
second,
about?
our second review, the movie that George picked.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you want to
people-
do autopsy first?
Yeah, we're doing
He
autopsy.
picked both. He picked both of them.
Well, I know,
Oh,
but
did he? No, I
Pat
didn't know.
Pat wants to dictate the order, because
Yeah,
he's not a
okay.
he's
So
not
you
a
wanna
total
do
jerk or
Autopsy of Jane
anything.
Doe
Listen,
first.
we watched
Yeah,
Autopsy
oh.
of Jane Doe and Belzebuth.
Belzebuth.
Every time I say
Ah.
the word, it's
Belzebub.
I say it a different way every time. Belzebuth.
Well, it's because you're so used to saying Beelzebub,
I think that's what it is.
and I think that it's just Beelzebub,
It's
but it's not. But Beelzebub.
Belzebuth.
Beelzebub. If someone could tell us how the fuck you
Belzebuth.
say this,
Belzebuth.
drop it in the comments.
I just
section
said it. It's Belzebuth. It's Buth at
Fuck
the
you,
end.
Dylan.
B-U-T-H.
below.
It's buh. It's the
All right.
buh.
Oh yeah,
So
I
why
forgot.
these two films? Why these two picks, George? Why'd you pick these?
Where's the theme?
I'm just-
Honestly,
they actually do have a theme. If you think,
Yeah,
about
I
it.
know.
honestly, the theme wasn't really planned. I just
Of
know
course.
that like Belzebuth
It's
being a
never
Mexican
planned.
horror, and it's just like something that I watched forever ago, and I know like
Mhm.
it's one of those movies that everybody like kind of like skipped over and nobody really saw because it came out in 2019. And I
We were
just really
busy.
wanted to talk about it.
Actually came out in
So-
2017.
Did it come out 20? Is it?
It
No
came out in
way.
2017. Shudder picked it up in 2019.
Oh,
Get
see?
your
There you
facts
go.
straight.
That's why, like, listen, if you go on Amazon Prime, you go to where you can watch this because Shudder's there. If you search this movie, I think I told you or I told Patrick about it, but it's on another subscription service called like Poyatana something. We're on Issa's parents, Amazon Prime, and they have a lot of like Spanish subscriptions, but it's on one of their subscription services. And it
Huh.
came out in 2017. It's just Shudder re-picked it up.
What the
and,
fuck is it called? What was that streaming service called?
It's Pantania. I don't know, man.
Is it like a fucking Telemundo ass
Listen,
fucking
bro,
streaming
first
service
off,
or
let's
something?
not get it twisted. I'm white as shit. I'm a gringo, so I could be saying this completely fucking wrong. But I'll try finding it and I'll say it right.
Listen, that's neither here nor there.
Exactly.
Either
There's a
way.
subscription. Just know it. It's on there. It's on there twice.
All right.
Up.
Either way, this-
Pantaya. It's called Pantaya. Pantaya.
Pantalla?
Pantaya. Yes.
That's a
It's
screen.
on there. Thank you very much. Issa goes through the wall. It said Pantaya. Like it's just like a fucking white piece of shit.
Shit, yeah, dude. I love Pantera. Fuck yeah, dude. That sounds sick.
All right, let's fucking get into this shit.
Listen, we're getting possessed and doing the evil biddings of others this week. Let's
Damn
get
right.
into it.
So, Autopsy of Jane Doe, released 20. What is that? 20 fucking. What year is this?
2016.
2016, y'all. Andre Ovredal is the man who directed this film, and here you go. If you've never watched this film, here's a nice little piece for you. A father and son, both coroners. That's wrong. One's a coroner, one's a certified medical technician, are pulled into a complex mystery while attempting to identify the body of a young woman who was apparently harboring dark secrets.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what. She has some
terrible,
demons.
It's a terrible escape room.
It's a terrible escape room. That should be your letterbox review. It's a 5 stars. It's a terrible escape room. I don't know what everyone's first thoughts on this movie.
I love it.
I fucking
Dude,
I
it's
saw it.
intense.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I watched it earlier last year. And just like it was
Yeah.
on Netflix, and like I think I follow a guy on YouTube who does like he'll be like, here's 10 movies coming to Netflix this month or Hulu, HBO. He does it all. That's how I kind of keep track of like movies I wouldn't think to watch. He'll kind of like offer like, his movie tastes are similar to mine. But yeah, he talked about it and I watched it and I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoy movies that are kind of like really long Twilight Zone episodes. And that's what this
That's
felt
what
like
it
to
felt
me.
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the 2 actors in it. The
Oh,
son
yeah.
and the father.
So when I first saw like the teasers, trailers for this way back when it first was released, I was very into it. I love this director because if you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever watched another film he's known for, which is personally one of my all-time favorites, and we need to do it on this show. Troll Hunter.
I love
So,
that movie.
Yeah.
He directed Troll Hunter. So
That's
he's
a
the same
great
guy that
movie.
did Troll Hunter.
That's a great movie. I watched that
it-
on a whim too because Magnet, the company Magnet, was on a roll because they did Monsters,
Mhm.
which that guy went on to do. That's Gareth Edwards, and
Yeah.
he went on to
Monsters is a
do,
good movie.
and then he went on to do Godzilla. Then he went on to do Rogue One. So
Jesus.
yeah, he
Yeah.
branched off from Monsters, and I thought Monsters was a cool movie. And then and Troll Hunter was the same production company.
Loved it.
And I watched that movie, and it was awesome. The whole Christian blood thing and whatnot, and you know,
There's
And
a
then-
troll in the dungeon.
Just another tidbit before we get into this discussion, so everyone can be on the lookout for this. I was kind of looking because he hasn't really done many films since the Autopsy. I mean, he's done a few. He did Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark with Guillermo del Toro.
oh, he did.
Yeah,
Okay,
but this film, I was watching Autopsy and I was like, holy shit, what is this guy working on? Read this fucking synopsis and almost cried. So the movie is titled The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Now, this movie is
Sounds like a
based
metal
on
band.
right? It's based on a single chapter, The Captain's Log, from Bram Stoker's classic 1897 novel Dracula.
Oh,
So
Let's go.
he's doing a fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula storyline.
oh, cool.
And I'm excited.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Excited.
dude, that'll be actually sick. Actually,
Right? I saw that, I told Issa, I was like, he's fucking doing a whole movie based on a single chapter in this book.
2023. Dude, I won't
Yeah.
wait that long.
Well, you gotta.
Man,
I
you
don't
got-
wanna. You can't make me.
Well, let's fucking
Yeah, I thought the like I said, I mentioned it on the past episode before we all decided we were going to do this. Good things don't happen in basements, and this is where the movie starts in a basement where nothing good has ever happened, and it's interesting. You know, and you know, I kind of take it back. It's not so much like Twilight Zone; it's more like Tales from the Crypt. Kind of, just because it's
Literally.
it's a little it's a little bit more surgical and graphic and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I think it's very entertaining. I love the actors in it. The older gentleman, he's in that
Brian
show.
Cox.
Yeah, he's in Succession,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
I've always
Yeah,
loved
he's
him.
also the dad in The Ring.
He's the dad in The Ring. He's the
Yeah.
he's the police sergeant in Super Troopers.
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
You know him basically.
Yeah, you
You're
know
anybody
him.
who anything that enjoys the medium on the television.
Yeah.
You know,
You've seen him.
the real star of this movie, though, let's be honest, is Stanley the Cat, played by Sydney the Cat.
Of course.
That
Rest in
queen
peace.
was the best kitty I've ever seen.
Yes,
No,
go
fuck
off.
that, dude. I was so upset. I was so fucking upset, dude.
The movie flips right after the cat dies.
It really does.
Uh.
It was like the body knew that it needed to get rid of the cat because of, you know, cats are aware of certain heightened senses and their surroundings. So it's kind of funny if you think about it, like it feels like the entity or the being, or in this case, it's a witch, like killed it to like stop it from letting them know like what was going on.
Yeah, and to fuck with Pops.
And to
That
fuck with
too.
Pops.
Yeah.
So one of the things I really love, I mean, besides like I love the way this movie starts with like the wide shot of the house where they, you know, then you go in and it's the crime scene team and they're taking photos and there's all this chaos and gruesome like in-house murder that went down, and then they go to the basement and then there's just her.
Yeah. Underneath the
Should be
Just
basement
uncover her
floor.
fucking her body.
Yeah.
The screenplay for this movie, it's like it never leaves the basement either.
Yeah.
It never has any cuts outside, so it's like you're also stuck with these characters in the basement.
Mhm.
So it kind of
You
gives you that-
start in a basement and then she's taken to the
yeah.
coroner's, you know, basement. So I like that.
So-
I like that.
It's back to Dylan's theory. Basements are just pure fucking evil.
Yeah.
Hey man,
No good ever
Well,
comes from them.
Well, I was
No
gonna
good.
say that too. Is props to Andre for like if you can take like 3 characters basically and have them in the same setting for an entire movie and just have it be so captivating and
Mhm.
scary and just like tell so much of a story with like literally nothing. That is just genius.
It almost
Oh,
comes
he's-
out like a stage
and that
play.
comes with the acting, and also shouts out to the dead body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she
I-
is just
that was an actor, right?
yeah. For that, I mean,
Yeah, that-
a lot of the
that's
scenes
it.
were her as the actress, and then of course, when they're cutting her open doing the autopsy, it's all practical effects.
No, it had to be real.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you never know. I mean, people donate their bodies to science. You never know if they actually got an actual cadaver and they were fucking around with it. That'd be metal as fuck.
Yeah, I didn't see anything
like I
about
said,
it
it'd be
looking it
a
up.
terrifying escape room.
Yeah.
Now you have to cut this
Um,
body.
One of the things I don't know if you guys caught this. A lot of the scenes, especially when shit starts really popping off, when the father and son are walking the halls, did it all not feel like you're playing Resident Evil, the original one? That how the camera angles were designed,
especially that camera angle at the mirror.
Yeah,
Tight
and you're,
corridors
it's
and
just
all
like
that.
up high, and then they're walking towards it, and then it's a backward shot of from the same view.
Yeah.
It feels like the haunted like the mansion incident from Resident Evil, and I love that because it just adds more to the sense of horror.
I knew the second they showed it, like in the opening of the movie, of that shot, I'm like, that's gonna be paid off to a scare of like us seeing something in the mirror.
I like when movies do that.
Yeah, me too.
Where they like pad the beginning, like when they come into a new location and introduce the characters, they pad things for the first 15-20 minutes into the scenes that you can either observe and pull out for yourself to be like, okay, like for example, there's a corpse with a bell attached to it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
so
gonna
it's
pay off
like
as a scare.
that bell sound's going to come in at some point and cause some sort of tension in the scene, and it does in
it
a
sure
really, really effective and to
Best
me
part of the
creepy
fucking
way.
movie.
Yeah, for sure. As something as to be the most effective besides the ending for me being creepy.
Yeah.
I would say, they set everything up pretty much.
And they set up a mystery on the body when they start discovering when they cut the body up and realize that
Shit's
her
weird.
lungs are burnt, her bones are broken and shit like that. And it's like there's no outside wounds or anything like that. I thought that was like set up a cool mystery.
And the body's so perfectly preserved, like
Hair, brown, eyes, gray.
Yeah.
You're taking Dylan's job.
She clouded my out of this body dead for days.
I also like you brought that up, like where they start actually talking about doing the autopsy, and I like that those interactions.
Yeah,
where, like,
I learned a lot too.
The son notices all these weird things, but the dad, being old and he's just like, I've seen shit, is like, oh, I've seen that before. He's always playing it off to an extent until like shit gets real like weird, and he's like,
Oh yeah, because they're trying to they're establishing that the father's kind of like not fazed by dead bodies or is shocked by anything that's not new to the son or whatever, But then it's like, oh shit, this is like fucking weird.
Well, the pacing of this movie was just like phenomenal, and almost like
Oh yeah.
I don't know why, but like you can almost like correlate it to like an autopsy, right? It's like as you like dig deeper and deeper to find like the cause of death while doing an autopsy. It's like the same way, like at the beginning, it starts with like one thing, and like you said, it's like the dad's like, oh okay, like whatever, this is weird, but whatever.
Well, and he also says,
and then
like,
it's another thing, it's like weirder, but it's like, I've
Right.
seen that too. And then it gets to the point where you're like, oh okay, no, fuck this shit. He said, we're out, gotta go.
There's a line in the movie where the dad says, like, we just need to figure out the cause of death. We don't really dig it much deeper into why or how this happened.
Yeah.
Just give the cause of death. And then, eventually throughout the movie, it's like, oh no, we need to figure out why this shit happened.
you could take 6 people and put them at your local theater production company and do a small production of this movie live as it plays out in the movie, and it would play out the same way. Very stage play, act 1, act 2, act 3, climax, all that.
That actually would be really cool for someone to do, is because you're right. This movie does feel like it could be put
live.
yeah, it could definitely be theatrical in the sense of like coming in and watching a live set of them doing the autopsy.
You would just do everything from the autopsy room. It's one scene.
Yeah.
You know, you could simulate what goes on down the halls, I guess, at certain parts. You could do the entrance and you could do the autopsy room, like where the stairs come up and down and everything, because, you know, it's so pivotal to the end and everything. But it's, I think, yeah, it flows very well like a stage play. And I do find it when movies flow like that, it is a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, the scares are effective. You never once feel like it was a cheap scare,
Right?
Because they're not everywhere. Like they're, you know, throughout the pacing. You know, he thought methodically of like, hey, I'm gonna put some scares here, some minor things here, some holy fuck moments, and then things are gonna kind of die down. I mean, they light her on fire,
Right?
Yeah.
and nothing happens to her. And I think, and that's where like, you know, jumping around everywhere how we normally do it. I think like once you come full circle and they kind of figure out, you know, hey, they have they pull the lacing out of her stomach, right? Yes, I think that's where it was.
I think they pulled the lacing out of her mouth.
Yeah,
there was the rope
string
that came out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
then
I
the
don't-
lacing would
was
be
it-
probably on the inside.
And then
yeah.
there was the cloth that had her tooth wrapped.
that was
it.
in her stomach.
That was in
Yeah.
her stomach. They
That's right,
shoved
yeah.
that down her stomach. I love that they, you know, use the added element. They start playing with it. It's got different things, Roman numerals. They end up finding out that, you know, this was end up being someone who was tried as a witch in the Salem witch trials. And that just like when I first watched this movie, it blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, that's not at all what I was expecting, that this was going to be some type of witch storyline. And what I like even more is that, you know, they go in, they start talking about the fact that, you know, she probably wasn't a witch. So many women were innocently accused or wrongfully accused of being a witch. And the dad's like, you know, what if, you know, what they did to her, you know, what by being thinking of what she was, turned her into the thing that they actually thought she was.
Right.
Like she was never a witch, but the torture
Through
that she endured,
the torture that she endured, that
she became a
thing.
witch.
Right.
And I just,
So that's metal as shit.
I was like, holy shit, that's cool as fuck. Because it's not your normal trope. Like it's just completely original. I think the whole film in itself is original. Very original.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
I
ever really
agree.
seen anything besides it being like some type of Frankenstein's monster-esque movie or Reanimator, which again is a Frankenstein-esque movie.
Right.
You don't really get this kind of medical horror in the sense that the whole movie is designed around a medical facility, you know, a medical room where an autopsy is being performed, and then shit just goes absolutely bonkers.
I guess.
The medical escape room.
I guess. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
And the element of like these guys are professional and they're in the medical position or profession, and they have to be like kind of like skeptics on like, oh, this weird shit. It can't be like this weird shit that's happening or this like paranormal stuff. We have to
Well, yeah, they first see that
some
they
type
first
of
say it's
logical-
human trafficking.
Yeah, that's right.
You
And
would.
I thought that was it flips real quick.
You
They're like, oh no,
No,
she's a witch.
You forget sometimes. I feel like just how good of a setting a morgue could be, or like where they perform the autopsies.
Right.
Like you forget how good of a setting that could be for a horror movie, because talk about a place where no nonsense should occur. And that's a place where you operate on dead bodies.
And then when it does,
And then when it does, of course, people of no nonsensical minds will cry no nonsense at this first sign of anything spooky or ghoulish. So you do have your bit of doubt coming from your characters, but it's warranted because they're men of medical science and whatnot. They probably don't.
They're trying to keep an image. They're not.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, we think she's there's something wrong with her. You know, how do you even explain that?
It gets
and then one of the things I just thought of, and I'll let you go, Dylan.
Yeah,
was,
go ahead.
I'm completely wrong. I forgot a movie that takes place in a morgue, Return of the Living Dead. Number
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
That takes place in a morgue.
I wish we need to do that movie because I absolutely
I love those movies.
I love that fucking
There's a meme that's really funny to that whole movie, and it's like 95% of the movie is them in the morgue, but my mom walks in the 5% that's her dancing naked in the
graveyard. Yeah. Yeah, that song has a fucking kick-ass theme song.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to party?
Yeah, I love that.
Now it's party time.
It's so bad. I love it.
No, that shit rocks, dude. I'm so into it for real.
What was y'all's favorite spook in the entire movie? What was the thing that got you?
Okay, so the girlfriend scene.
Oh,
Dude, that's the best scene.
Yeah, that was a
The
gut
girl-
that
punch.
was so bad because you feel so bad for them. Like,
Because not even on a scary level or like fucked up level, but emotionally, because they develop in the beginning of the movie that the son is trying to move out and not continue the family tradition of doing autopsies and shit.
Mortician.
Yes, and he's trying to move away with his girlfriend, and later on in the movie, his dad.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, that's a neat
Bam!
little psychological twist.
Yeah.
But
For
like
sure,
dude, the
that
build
shit-
up to that. Like,
Yeah.
Reminds me of Evil Dead
just
Demons.
the bell, the dark in the distance, just like slow.
That's for
crawling.
me.
Again with the pacing. It's
That's
just
the
like,
one for
dude,
me is the bell.
Just
Yeah.
so slow,
Yeah, the
just the
bell.
bell, and like you see it, like they can't get the freaking doors closed, and you're like freaking out for them. You're like, "Fuck, just close the goddamn door, close the goddamn door." And you're like, "Fuck it, kill it with an axe." You're like, "Oh."
And they got that thing with the
shit."
fucking with its mouth and eyes sewn shut.
Mm-hmm.
And like you
Yeah,
saw,
the
you
previous
saw it
guy
at
they
the,
were working on.
and you saw it at the beginning, and you were like, "Wow, that would be a lot scarier if it was alive."
and
it's like,
does he
well,
deliver?
yeah, it's like, well, I got news for you, buddy.
Well, dude,
For
the
real,
smoke scene.
yeah.
The smoke,
The smoke
scene
scene was really cool.
Yeah.
This director does a really good job of like using the elements of the room to implement fear. So like the when they they record everything, so they light her on fire because like, fuck this, we got to burn her, we just got to burn her, and the witch starts controlling the fire and then causes the camcorder, which has all of the evidence of all of this happening, on fire. Like, it's ruined. The smoke screen, one of the things I loved, especially because the autopsy is like the best part of this whole movie, is when they finally start cutting her in, she's bleeding. He's like, this is weird. This type of time of death, or the prolonged since she's been dead, we really shouldn't see blood run that way. And then they cut her open and her lungs are fucking scarred and they're burnt, and
Her
they
bones
keep
are
going
tattooed,
further.
aren't they?
Huh?
Or like something inside of her is tattooed, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was getting to. So my favorite part of like when they're uncovering her history is when they actually notice that the skin is not her actual skin. So they pull it away, and there's like the second covering, and it has all of those like markings or tattoos all over it, with all the sacred geometry and all these different markings and shit. The movie is pure fucking genius. I don't have one bad thing to say about it.
And it's definitely underrated.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely up to personal taste, just like anything else is. Because like, I think it got a Metacritic score of about 73. I think that's pretty.
Really?
I think it's pretty fair. I'd put it in the lower 80s myself.
I would put it higher. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes has it sitting at 87, and I think that's where it should be.
Yeah, that's about fair.
I think
is that user or critic?
The acting is just phenomenal. The writing, the story, like how they've incorporated the story. There's no like major plot holes that are visible upon rewatching it for like the third time now. I enjoy watching this film. I don't ever get tired of watching it because it's different than most things that have came out.
The end is definitely fun to experience with people who have never seen it before.
Mhm.
and it's the pacing too that makes it feel like it's not like that long of a movie.
You mean the ambiance?
No. Stop it. We fired him.
But I also like how the ending leaves it open. You know, they've lived through the worst night of their fucking life. The dad had he's been touched by this witch. He is embracing the same things that she was embracing. And like I thought that part was really cool where he's like he has that whole conversation. He's like take me, but leave him alone. And you get that sense, there's that sense of hope that the movie gives you that you always get in some horror movies, that hope.
No, it definitely got my ass. I was like, oh yeah, dude, hell yeah.
He goes through literally
gonna get out.
everything that she went through as an individual back in the Salem witch trials. He comes back, he has to kill his dad. All right. And then here he goes thinking that he's going to escape, break free. Fucking K, bro. Loose fucking railing, you fall and break your damn neck. And then the sheriff just walks in and is like, what the fuck? I mean, at that point, you had to have realized that there's something going on with that body for it to be in two separate locations now where people have just been killed gruesomely for no reason.
And I was kind of conflicted on the ending. I felt like it was, at first, when I first saw it back in like 2016, I was like, kind of mean-spirited, but whatever. Watching it now, I'm like, it's a good movie, and it doesn't have like the happy ending that everyone expects this movie to kind of go for.
I like it though, because go ahead, Dylan.
Do you know? Does anyone know where this movie takes place?
Like where the setting is, like where the town is.
Yeah,
I closed that in my little notes, but it's somewhere in the Northeast.
Okay, yeah. If it's a small town, if it's a small, if it's a small town, I could get it, because what small town police force is going to put two and two together and be like, maybe it's the dead body. You know, it's like I just think that in like a small town police like that is just going to chalk it up to coincidence and just let it be, go. And I mean. We could talk about the ending and how it ends now, right? You think?
No, yeah, of course.
Yeah, very chilling. Very, very, very chilling. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah,
you think the sun's gonna get out, and then you hear the cop, and you're like, "Fuck, man, open the door." And then you hear the song. There's a song that reoccurs throughout the whole movie. It's like,
and it's terrifying. It's a great use of a song.
I could have hooked my Bluetooth phone up to this Rodecaster I got to play it, but I haven't. I didn't prepare for that, so.
I can get it if you want.
Maybe next time. It's up to you. But you hear that song, and then the cops on the other side screaming for him to open the door, and the guy's like, I can't. And then you hear the cop on the other side singing, open up and let the sun shine, and type shit. And you're like, okay, whatever is across the other side of that door isn't the cop. I don't know what it is or what it looks like. And that's always
but you're fucked.
And that's something always very, very creepy, is that like it's almost like in The Exorcist 3.
Here we go.
Where it's different voices. Like, like the demon is the old woman in the confessional, and then the voice starts to warp, and it's like all of a sudden that voice you heard isn't coming out of what you imagine it to be. And that's a very horrifying realization.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Mommy told me something a little girl should know. It's all about the devil, and I've learned to hate him so.
Just a creepy ass song.
Yeah. Little
intro.
It's like a little southern. Right? It's like an old little Southern Baptist kids like, we hate the devil. Put a jar of pickle juice under your pillow so the devil doesn't turn you trans or something. I don't fucking know. Like the shit that just fucking like scare fucking Southern white people to death, shit like fucking that. It's like, oh God, the communists are turning our children gay. And it's just that don't let the Lord catch you. It's like, okay.
But, I think like, you have that, the kid dies, And then the sheriff finally shows up. They're like, what the fuck happened here? They start wrapping up bodies. He's like, send this fucking shit out of my town. I don't want to see her ever again. That's their fucking problem now. And the scene, the dude's just driving the corner van, having a good old time, and then the fucking song comes on, and then the bell rings again. You're just like, in credits, you're like, he's dead.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, I think that's what made me like this movie like way more. So when the dad like he realizes he's like, oh, like she's been tortured, been through so much shit, never deserved it. He was like, he basically like gave himself. He's like, let me go through it, spare my son, right? And like you think like it's over, it's finally over. Like she's at peace, like whatever. But like then you realize the couple at the very beginning of the movie was killed because of her. Then she went through here, then the coroner. So like she's been going through the years, through the ages, just like place to place to place. And like it's not like, oh, she was just like looking for that piece of like, no, it's just pure fucking evil, bro.
Oh, it's
like,
just
there's no like there's nothing you could do about it. Like she's gonna keep killing and killing and killing. It's fucking
put
evil.
her back in that hole.
Listen, that hole isn't the thing is that she's just gonna be found again. Yeah. And that's what I think another thing that this movie does well is it creates this weird sense of mythology of this Jane Doe. And like now you're like, okay, how many people has she affected? If we're talking 1600s where she was, accused of being a witch and burnt and tortured and all this shit, that's a lot of fucking years of just popping up out of holes and shit and just causing pure chaos in people's lives. And there's never going to be a second movie to this film. I don't think that's how this director is. I don't think he's like, I mean, of course, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is getting a second movie, but that makes sense. There's more stories to be told, but this story is open and closed. It was done.
If they did do a sequel, it would be like straight to like Shudder or like straight to DVD or some shit.
And I would watch it. I'd watch it
because I don't think what you could do that wouldn't mirror the first film. It'd be like watching the same movie and over again, and that don't always work. It only works for Evil Dead.
I mean, I guess they could make it on a bigger scale. But
real quick, Jorge, can you check if they made money?
Oh, yeah, you always got that shit on lock when it comes to money.
Oh, that's Dylan's thing.
Oh, it is.
It is.
I did that the first episode we were back, and no one's like asked me for it ever since. So I just didn't do it.
It's fine. We'll come back to it. But let's fucking what's everyone's what's George? What's your score? What's the rating system for this movie?
Oh, damn.
How many dead cats? How many dead cats?
No, definitely
How many dead cats?
Oh, it did not make money, by the way.
No, it's definitely like 5 bell jingles out of 5, dude, for sure.
There it is.
5 bell jingles out of 5.
Yeah.
Dylan, what's the numbers?
There's not a lot that this movie does wrong. There's just really not.
It ticks the boxes for you. I can appreciate that.
Dylan, what are the numbers?
Well, it was about the gross. It doesn't give me a budget, but the gross was 10 million and the worldwide gross was 6 million. So
I'll check.
I mean, I'm sure it was a very low budget production. I'm sure.
I mean, it's one filming location. So I mean,
4 actors,
4 or 5 actors, main actors,
stunt actors to play corpses and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm sure their budget was probably near the million mark, if not a little bit more.
Probably a little bit more than that for sure.
Yeah,
I would think that they recouped their money.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. So that's the Autopsy of Jane Doe. If you've never seen it, watch it. It's a good film. If you're not into this kind of weird shit, don't watch it. Who are we to tell you what to watch and what to not watch? But
it's all opinions.
We enjoyed
man.
it. Get yourself a good, a jar of pickles and watch this film.
God damn it! That's my new Southern Baptist gross. Fucking.
Let's talk about the second film that Jorge picked for us this week. This fucking damn it film. It's fucking. I've never seen it, so personally, I do want to thank you for suggesting a film for this episode that I've never seen before and that I actually really fucking liked.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank the Actors Guild for all the help.
I've heard about this, how fucked up this movie is, and that one Jigsaw's in it. But
which fucked me up.
Thanks, George.
That shit fucked me up.
To make me finally watch it.
everyone who watches this film, and I think I hyped it up pretty good on the Meads.
Toby,
And I hope people watch it because I feel like it is one of those films that didn't get a lot of recognition when it first came out, and then even with Shudder releases so much stuff, and I think one of their downfalls is they're not really good at promoting what's coming out on Shudder.
They're really not.
That so many things get swept under the rug that you just don't know what's. I mean, there's so much content always coming out, but Amazon and Netflix and Hulu, they're really good at being like, this is what's coming out. But I think that's where Shudder really lacks in the game. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I think that everyone should watch this.
Yeah, you know what the craziest part about this is? So the director, Emilio Portes, Mexican, he's a comedy director and a comedy writer.
I think that makes sense. I think a lot of comedy writers and like comedy actors like have an affinity for horror movies.
Yeah.
It is always fun though to see them come over to the genre and create something like this.
Yeah. Except for Danny McBride did the new Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Well,
Chris
him
Rock
and others.
Spiral.
But don't want to put all the blame
was
on
really
him.
good. I mean, for me, really only liking like the first 3, maybe 4 Saw movies, I really enjoyed.
Speaking of Tobin
Spiral.
Bell.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Speaking of Tobin Bell.
bro, I really want him to just be covered in tattoos. I think it suits him.
Nah, seeing Tobin Bell in a movie is like seeing Forrest Whitaker in a movie. It's like, and I'm here too. Like, okay.
And he's in Seinfeld.
Yes, he is in Seinfeld. I was just getting ready to bring that up. Pat knew right where I was going.
Yep.
But I want to say though, but Tobin Bell really isn't the star of this film.
No,
he's there, and he's this underlying character that's kind of, playing in the darkness of the story. But the main dude, Joaquin Casio, he's the real star, and man, does he fucking kill it in this movie.
What other movies has he had or TV shows has he been in? Because I've seen him.
He's
in
another
things.
TV show. Let me pull him up real quick because he's in something I watched recently on Netflix.
Yeah,
in
I
Narcos
think that's where I
Mexico.
saw him.
He's in Narcos Mexico.
Okay.
He plays in Spider-Man.
Okay.
He's the voice actor for Scorpion and Spider-Man
Oh,
into the
cool.
Spider-Verse. And then he's been a lot. This man's got a fucking fantastic film career. He's been in so much shit. But he's in this one show. I can't remember. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, he's been in Spider-Man, Rambo. He was in the Suicide Squad. Gentrified. That's what it is.
Yeah, on Netflix. Season 2 just came out. Actually, I just saw.
Oh, did it? Because I need to watch it because season 2 leaves. Season 1 drops off with him getting
Well, don't say it because I haven't seen it.
Oh,
so good. I know.
It's a good show.
If it's good, I'll watch it. If it's good, I'll watch it.
It's really good. It's really good.
Okay, good. I just didn't want you to go too far before I got some spoilers.
No, I was about to fucking just give you the ending of season 1 is a heartbreaker, dude, because of what happens to him. You're just like, no.
It's intense.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out then.
Speaking of heartbreakers.
Speaking of fucking heartbreaking, spoiler alert for this motherfucker.
God, out the gate. Jesus Christ.
Film, babies just get stabbed for a good 10 minutes.
A nursery just gets fucking swarmed upon with just a fucking fury of scalpel just raining down on these poor little gelatinous infants that just came into the world. And they're like, what's oxygen? And next thing you know, it's like just a murder fest of these small, innocent little newborn children. I lost my goddamn mind. I was like, George, what the fuck? And that's coming from me, man. That's pretty fucking bad.
No, yeah.
I literally did that call frantic thing, not because I've watched.
Dude, Mike
I'm not
called
one
me
of those
twice
people that's like,
I
I like to watch fucked up movies because it makes me cool. I was just so like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That was pretty fucking intense.
This is my first time watching the movie, and I knew about the first 10 minutes. I was told about what happens, and even I was still shocked to see it.
Yeah. Because they don't show knife go in, but it's definitely it's the closest you can.
Motion. It's a Psycho-esque.
It's the closest you can get without showing it. Let's put it that way. Without
and just so you guys know, I'm gonna give you guys the storyline that we normally do, just because if you've never seen this film. So after losing his family in an extremely tragic way, baby stabbing stabbing,
It's
and
a
then
baby
Yikes.
mask.
eventually his wife does commit suicide, because how do you actually recover from that? Detective Ritter must investigate a massacre at a school perpetrated by a student.
That
What
part.
seemed like a pretty clear case becomes more and more dense when a priest of the Vatican appears with another point of view. So this movie is just all about killing kids. So if you can't handle kids getting murked, not for you. This is just not for you. Okay. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that kid. Yeah, that scene. That I was trying to remember what happened next. That was just as fucked up. And then
It's all fucked up, and it
It's all
continues to
fucked
get
up.
fucked
Bro,
up.
yeah,
So,
it continues.
Here it is. You have baby stabbing. You have a giant school shooting. The kid brings a fucking Beretta and just annihilates. He's like in what? I think 6th grade.
Yeah,
Something like that. He's not that old. He goes into a kindergarten class. People, kindergarten, starts playing fucking tag, and then he offs himself with a shotgun.
Yeah,
I mean, none of this is
a
of course,
child.
shown.
A child.
Yeah, child. I mean, you don't see anything, and then the next thing that goes down is the fucking bombing at the fucking movie theater.
and you got this-
I'm sorry. Third, thank you, Jorge. The pool electrocution.
Oh yeah! Holy
did
shit!
swim
I
class.
forgot about the pool electrocution. Holy shit!
When the pool scene was happening, I was like, "What's she doing? What's she doing? Oh fuck!"
She's not gonna make
No.
it. She's not gonna make it. Someone
I
will
was-
stop her.
I wanted to fucking just quote Spawn. Arise, what is it, Duke of Crispy or whatever he calls his ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Okay, well, I will say before
Go
we
ahead,
go
George.
further, and we don't just keep saying that we just love the killing of children, but like it,
Only in this podcast
It-
we love it.
it would be like over the top and just unnecessary if you didn't get further in the movie and
Of
find
course.
out that the whole time they were just trying to off the Antichrist from being born and being raised. So there was actually a purpose behind all
the
this.
Antichrist. It's Jesus, my
Oh,
dude.
I mean, sorry, the second coming of
The-
Jesus,
the
basically.
and that I think that's where, like, okay, so like
It's the
not
opposite of the
religious at
Omen.
all, but I did like this like storyline. I thought it was kind of cool because you don't really see it.
Right.
It's not like a
But be-
normal storyline.
Because he's the second coming of Jesus, he was never there. He missed
Yeah.
school that day. He didn't go to swim class.
And apparently,
He-
this has happened many times in the past where
He got
motherfuckers were
He got
assumed to be the
kidnapped
second
before
coming.
The freaking
Isn't
movie
that-
theater blew up.
Isn't that kind of what they do in that Legion movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I
That
just wanted to
movie was
make sure I
bad.
wasn't the only one where it's like
You
the
shut your mouth, Mike.
he's unborn, but he is the woman's pregnant with the son with the second coming of Christ, and those
Yes.
I thought,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
Legion didn't have Jigsaw smuggling
That's
Jesus
true.
to America.
No,
they
it
did not have tattoo covered Jigsaw.
didn't it have Tyrese in it though? Tyrese Gibson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then so checkmate. You know.
This is literally Legion on steroids.
No,
I
I
agree
mean
with that.
And
they're
Spanish.
different. One's more action for sure. This
And
one's
Spanish.
more intense possession for sure.
Bro, not even that, bro. The school shooting, my dude Ritter just brings the mom into the room and pulls the fucking blanket and starts questioning.
Again, I don't want to bring up
Fucking-
I don't want to bring up the greatest movie of all time, The Exorcist 3, but
Oh my god.
Here we
It's
go.
the greatest movie.
hey, the demon does possess people to commit murders.
No, there's definitely
Not
I think they
children,
definitely
but-
pulled
but-
something.
but catatonics, and I don't know which one's more disturbing.
I would think children. I think there's something that's a
Yeah.
little bit more disturbing with the fact that, like, the innocence of a child, especially because
Well-
it's young children. It's not like it's like high
Yeah.
schoolers. It's
Yeah,
it's
but
middle school
yeah, but could you
aged kids.
but could you argue
Yeah,
that
and it touched a little close to home too.
Could you would you say that middle school kids might have a little bit more consciousness though than some catatonic mental patients?
I mean, of course, because I mean, no, I mean, actually, I'm not going to say that because
I said some, not all.
read enough on comatose patients to know what type of consciousness they have within them, even though they're non-responsive to some things. It's possible that they, even though you're in a coma, you could potentially have some sort of conscious actions going on.
Like there's
You're
a
just
whole
unable
like
to
there's a
act
whole
on them.
city going on in their head, but on,
Yeah,
on
like
the
Monkey Bone.
outside, Monkey Bone. There you
with
go.
fucking Brendan Fraser.
And Chris
What the fuck?
Kattan
Stop.
and
You're fucking
Rose
welcome. There's
McGowan.
my random
What
memory
a
dump for the night.
awesome movie Monkey Bone is, and I only say this off of the basis of the last time I watched it, which was probably on the Stars
We were all
channel
teenagers.
in about
Yeah, last time I saw Monkey Bone,
2009.
I was 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about the last
Um,
time I watched it was about 2009. But I remember Monkey, whatever.
I think there's a lot of things like that are done in this film that would maybe come off as corny, but work. So the Ghostbusters team, all right.
Yeah, the Zach Baggins.
Who are these
Gringos?
dweebs just coming in and being like, hold on, the Vatican sent us. We're
Yeah,
here with our special flashlights.
yeah,
And
they're Vatican issued
Vatican Investigation
Ghostbusters.
Force.
you know what
Makes
though?
sense.
We were watching this, and Issa and I were like, you know what? I bet you the Vatican has a team like this at their disposal. Just some fucking nerdy dudes with some UV lights
You know
out
they do.
here, fucking going to all their exorcisms that they do and like documenting and shit. I bet they have money that they have some type of organization that's not in the purview of the light.
It's like the Men
that
in
just
Black
go
of the
around collecting
Vatican.
ectoplasm.
They're demon trappers.
Yeah, it's like God, I just said it. I forgot what I just said. It was it's like the Vatican version of like Ghost Hunters or Ghostbusters or fucking I don't know. Constantine would be if they did a Constantine crossover. That'd be sick as fuck. Constantine's got to stop demons from possessing kids to commit mass murder. That'd be sick as fuck.
It does sound like Constantine.
But one of the things I think, like, and like we were talking about like the like planned theme of a movie. Like here we are with two films that kind of are playing on. I mean, one is kind of playing possession, which is Autopsy, because like, are we going to say that she's really possessed, or she's just a being that's living through hatred, through all this hate and torture and torment that she's lived through? That was, who knows. Whereas this movie is more related to possession, and I think it did possession really cool, in that you didn't know people were possessed until like certain parts in the film. So
As it kind of started to unravel.
yeah, is when things start like, so things definitely start popping off. There's all these events happening, it's all on television, a mass shooting at a school, the pool thing and the bombing. But the film really takes a turn towards the end, when they go to this, the small town near the border, and they go into that church, the Church of Children, and they get into that room with all the crucifixes. And this is where I thought I was going to be like, this is going to be corny. But holy shit, how terrifying was it when giant crucified Jesus just starts fucking talking?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
And he starts
Yeah.
talking shit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He starts talking mad shit. He starts making fun of his dead fucking wife and baby and shit to his face.
God.
Any wooden statue that comes to life and starts talking knows it won't be taken seriously, so it might as well just swing for the fences and talk as much shit as possible.
Oh yeah.
But I think it actually
that
works.
scene also reminded me of Exorcist 3.
Yes,
yeah,
it
with the
did. I
Jesus
know
coming
exactly
out
what
of
he's
the
talking about.
But I don't know. I just like I know it was an effective jump scare. I can tell you that much, when he because they walk up to it and he's like, oh, I think there's something dead in it, and he goes to like put his hand in the stab wound, and it just busts out coming out alive and shit. That was fucking. I like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect any
No,
like
me
heavy
either.
use of CG like that.
A lot of this movie, I was not expecting.
That should be the tagline. You're not going to expect a lot of this movie.
Whatever the
Because-
fuck you think is gonna happen, you're wrong.
You
You're
know that after the hospital scene, you know that. Like you're like, yeah, if you go on
I'm in for a ride.
IMDb, it's like violence and gore. It got a severe rating. And it's like I don't think anything trumps severe. As far as like a sense of urgency of should you watch this or not? It's like there's no on the fence about it. Either you're into it or you're not at that level.
Yeah, you're pretty much. I agree. Like you're either gonna put this movie on and turn it off, or you're gonna be like, what the hell did I just stumble upon, and just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Exactly.
It starts off almost like a detective thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get halfway and you're like, oh, this is a fucking demonic possession movie.
Much like William Peter Blatty's Exorcist 3, much like The Exorcist 3, that is a movie you think will be a... I'm just kidding, y'all. We will have to talk about that movie. We will
one day talk about the goddamn Exorcist 3. Don't worry.
This is my incessant campaigning to do that movie. Because if you guys like this movie, then you would love The Exorcist 3, but also the movie that I want to pair with that movie, which is Fallen with Denzel Washington and John Goodman.
Dude, that's so crazy you just mentioned that. I didn't know this movie existed until like 2 days ago. I'm going to watch it tonight, actually.
Fallen is a very, very good movie. It's a very good movie. It's like...
Dude, it's Denzel Washington and John Goodman.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a Seven vibe to it, but not as dark. And it's definitely more of a crime mystery thriller with paranormal demonic aspects to it. Nothing as heavy as Belzebuth or however you say it. But they're both supernatural true crime movies where it turns out to be a non-human answer to the issue at hand, and really just the grotesque acts that that the demons make the possessed host commit are just fucking wild, especially in Exorcist 3. So I'm campaigning, and I won't shut up till we do it. So
we're gonna do it.
Yeah. Also, Fallen has Tony Soprano in it.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Back to Belzebuth,
dude. Possessed Joaquin though. When he gets fucking possessed and loses
not only is he's not even possessed by like a mere demon here, people. We're not fucking with some mid-level fuckboy demon. Motherfucker's got the dude in him.
Yeah,
he's
for
got
real.
The dude.
Yeah.
And
said fuckboy demon.
When the movie goes underground, so at this point in the movie, they've realized that Tobin Bell is not the bad guy, because he's suspected throughout the film to be the leader of this satanic cult church that's killing children and all this shit. But it doesn't turn out to be that. It actually turns out that he has been searching for the second coming of Christ, and trying to protect them from the demons. Belzebuth, who wants this fucking this baby boy. But I think what they do is they try to bring him into the country, America, by use of these tunnels, because they have a safe house already made up for him to hide in, where they don't think this demon can find him. All right, whatever. Far-fetched, I think, but that's fine. But god damn it, the underground tunnels is where shit gets real intense, because it's so claustrophobic. They're underground. There's nowhere really for them to run. It's
underground like a basement, so my argument still stands.
Exactly. But here's the thing, and this is I didn't pose this question to the group chat, and I kind of asked Issa. There's a scene where they were walking through the tunnels. They get into the room where all the human trafficking is going down, unfortunately, and there's two doors. There's one on the left, one on the right. And the Detective Ritter says, well, let's go this way. And the child, who is apparently the Messiah, says, I'm scared. I want to go that way. So they end up following. But did any of you catch that when they went that way, they went into that room that was filled with all those unholy imagery, all the statues and remember, he was like, we got to get out of here. This is a bad room.
Right.
Yeah.
So at that point, it made me wonder if the kid is actually the Antichrist, and it led them this way,
or if the demon might be trying to influence him to turn to an evil side.
That's another point to think of. I didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
But I when it happened, and all the events that go down, in this room.
Yes.
You know, I was like, well, they're here because of the fucking kid. So like, was it some like
Quick,
it was
pull
meant
up
to
this-
be type of path or some
Quick, pull-
underlying thing?
Quick, pull out the spirit box.
I think if you're dealing with the Son of God, you know, you kind of got to assume, you know.
Nah, I'm gonna go the fuck that kid. I ain't interested in that motherfucker.
Well, you gotta assume that like fate and faith, everything kind of plays into place.
Also,
so it's like, you know,
a theme that I very much love about this movie, and it's a very fuck you white America Christian, because the second coming of Christ is an immigrant.
Yeah.
And who is by all means coming to the country illegally.
Yeah.
Like that, like I just love that it was like the director's way of saying fuck you, like in such a subtle way.
I don't think this movie's gonna make Tucker Carlson give a shit anytime soon, but maybe one day.
Well, maybe I'll email it to him like, hey man, you should watch this film.
Yeah, for real.
He'll just have a whole hour conversation about it.
Your last boy tried to build a wall to keep the Son of God out. Well, how do you feel now?
How do you feel about that?
Yeah. But Issa picked up on
wall.
that. She was like, oh, this is so fucking anti like white Christian America, and I love it.
Yeah,
I'm fucking
pretty
here
much.
for it.
Yeah.
Second coming of Christ is Mexican. Let's go.
Let's go.
You get a taco and you get a taco.
Ole, 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 ole.
Can we talk about when like Ritter finally is announced as being possessed and they fucking crucify his ass?
Yeah.
It felt like,
Yeah.
you know, crucifixion wasn't only used this way. We could do this too. And they fucking, this is what I love. Like they nail his ass to the cross, like legit,
Yeah.
like
Goes through
bro,
his
you're
hands
being-
and he's
you're-
crying
we're
and he's
not
laughing.
chaining you. We're hammering nails through your goddamn carpals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And he's
And then-
stuck. He's stuck. He's up there
They did
for
the-
sure.
They did
And-
the same thing where I don't know if it was like a take on Evil Dead or not, but they did the whole like switch where he was like possessed and then he stops.
Mhm.
He was like, no, like, no, I'm better. It's gone. Like trying to trick him and be like, just like,
Mhm.
let me go. And then like all of a sudden it's like, joke's on you, bitch. I'm a fucking floating crucifixion
Yeah.
now.
I think that's a lot. That's very standard possession film-esque, because I think it's a tactic that demons use to underscore maybe someone who's not so what's the word, like heavily not influenced, but like
religiously
doesn't believe
affluent.
enough.
Religiously affluent.
Yeah, or like that, like they don't believe it. Oh, this isn't really going on. This person's fine, and all of a sudden it's like roundhouse kick to your face, motherfucker. Pea soup in your mouth. And,
Good
Yeah,
try, dude.
yeah, yeah.
I've seen these movies.
yeah, right. Like any of us would be like, where's those coupons?
Where's them coupons?
Also blood. Torben Bell, like the whole
Some of the blood.
some of the blood. You can definitely tell when this movie started losing money. And
Yeah.
they're like, ah, shit. We went too big. We have to use fake real blood in some scenes. There's some CG blood in some other scenes, and it's definitely noticeable. But I'm not gonna fault them on that. It happens. They overshot. They gave us some fucking cool shit.
I just love
Like-
the part where it's like Tobin Bell and the kid are in the jail cell by themselves, and they're like, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave my son with this creepy acolyte of the Vatican." And he just pulls out a knife and he just turns around and he goes, "Come here, kid. I need you real quick." And the kid's like, "Ah!" And they're like, understandably so, he's not explaining his plan to anybody.
He just right. He's just kept it to himself.
I seen a little bit, kid.
I
Come here.
honestly thought at that point, like he had fooled everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I
thought
was
so,
actually
too.
gonna fucking murk this kid.
Pull a
and I was
double,
like,
pull
"Here
a
we go
double
again."
agent type shit. Like
That's
he's
what I
working with
thought.
the
They were
demon
like,
the whole time.
Dumbasses left a fucking kid with a guy that was gonna kill him to begin with. You idiots.
Yeah, he pulled the old
What a
double
fun
agent.
film.
Well, what did you think about Tobin Bell, like literally like taking the demon himself and then locking him away on the ground?
I
It
thought
was
that was
metal
badass.
as hell.
Like a real cool use of like sacred geometry and like religious symbols all throughout. Because like, okay, so what it does is that it uses these ridiculous ass tattoos and actually serves a purpose. Because you're like, oh, well, these tattoos they're kind of cool, but they're not that cool.
If you go to a Tool concert, everybody there looks like Tobin Bell from this movie.
I will say his little beard thing I hated.
They all got that.
Hey, dude, it's better than the fucking soul patch he had in Saw 6.
Yeah, that's very fucking true.
That's how you know he got eviler.
I did like that scene where he puts Beelzebub into the rock forever. I thought that was cool.
This is the movie that when it you don't kill Jigsaw. This is what he does.
Yeah.
He goes smuggles Jesus to America.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I actually really enjoyed this film. Like, I mean, yeah, I can nitpick and be like, the practical effects weren't good and the CG wasn't good, but I'm not gonna hit them on that.
Whatever. It was cool. Cool concept.
And possession films, they always feel overdone, or I've seen this before, and I haven't seen anything like this before.
I've never seen
when it comes to possession film. Except for Exorcist 3, Dylan. I know you're gonna say it.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Where they try to smuggle Jesus to America.
I think it's hopefully this is a launching point to get more Mexican directors to direct more,
for real.
The thing is,
Spanish language or half Spanish, half English, more because this movie and the last movie that he did. Or it's either this movie and the next movie that he did are the only Mexican films to be in 7.1 sound type thing, and I feel like it doesn't sound like much, but if they're investing that much that kind of technology into a Mexico-based film, then maybe that's going to start giving a little bit more validity to another country, kind of like South Korea is starting to get.
I was gonna say, watch out, Korea, we're coming for you.
Yeah, I really feel like some very interesting horror films can come out of Mexico, especially with Mexican folklore and.
Oh, I'm sure there is. That movie Terrifier is a Mexican horror film that's really good.
Yeah,
it's like a ghost possession film. The thing is that there are good films. It's just that you unfortunately they don't get talked about here. You know? I mean, again, this movie came out in 2017. It did its thing, and then it took 2-3 years for it to get picked up by Shudder, who gave it another release for it to get picked up again, people to watch it. But I think Del Toro does a lot. He does a lot of work promoting Mexican directors and working with them, to get their voices out there, because they do make movies. I mean, they don't get every movie that is released here in America, so they do, but they also make their own films that get released that we're probably never going to see here.
Right.
So I mean, it's just hard that it would be cool if there's a site, and I'm sure there's a fucking website for everything that can kind of slate movies coming out in different countries that may not come to our movie theaters, or come to even then not Regals or
maybe
AMC, but the smaller Enzians and the Brew House and the Alamo type theaters that play a lot of weird independent films. They play a lot of foreign films,
right?
Is where you get this kind of stuff. But we only really have the Enzian here, and they only do so many movies, and they do foreign films, but still.
I saw a Guillermo del Toro movie in that theater.
Did you?
The Shape of Water.
Oh, great!
I love the Enzian because you can get chicken tendies and Parmesan fries.
But in the background of the movies, you always hear dishes and glass moving.
I've never had that happen.
Really?
Never.
Okay.
Well, Pat, next time don't sit next to the kitchen, bro.
Yeah, dude, you guys sit in the back.
Dude, this is the fattest podcast in the world. What do you think I have to
do? I want my food.
Literally though, on brand for us, we're gonna go to the movie theater that sells chicken tenders.
Exactly.
I have a theater. Y'all in Orlando have a theater like the Enzian. My Enzian in Jacksonville is the Sunray Cinema, and that place is fantastic. Huh?
French fries.
You can get a lot of shit there. You can get
you can get a burger, and it's all high quality too. It's
burger,
not
you can get cheesecake.
Yeah, you can get a whole damn meal if you want.
You can get vegan blondies at this place. You can get a foot long and a vegan foot long with vegan cheese or regular cheese. You can do nachos. You could do pizzas. They have it all fucking there, man. Like I love Sunray, man.
We gotta talk about food somewhere on this podcast.
Yeah, we had to. You know,
Yeah, it's been a minute, and now I'm hungry.
Yeah. Right. And I had Indian food for dinner. And now I'm hungry.
Had chili.
But I don't know, man. I think if you haven't, what'd you say, George?
I had chili.
I had chili.
I was gonna make chili, but then I got way too busy to make chili, so we ordered Indian food instead.
I won't tell you how many bowls of chili I had, but I had chili.
You probably had 2.
Yeah,
If
Mike
you had
got
more
busy
than
with
2, you're going to die.
Mike got busy with his other podcast.
Yeah, my second podcast.
His
You
mistress
missed out on that,
podcast.
Dylan. I told them that I have a second podcast, and you guys are. It's called Mike and His Real Friends Time. And you guys are the side piece.
Yeah, Mike's mistress podcast.
I just sit in loungewear smoking a bubble pipe, and I talk about
And you
bologna
treat
sandwiches.
and you treat that podcast better than you treat us.
But I don't know. I think this is, like I said, this is a film that you're either gonna like it or you're not. And you should, if you want to dabble in it and try it out,
Can't you say that about any movie though? You're gonna like it or you're not.
Yeah.
Who is this movie for, Mike? Who is it for?
This
It's
movie,
it's for George.
It's for
it's
George.
for Jorge.
Jorge,
It
who are you
is.
as a person?
This is for you. I don't know, man. I think I like this movie. I would say this movie was made for me. I fuck with it.
This movie's made for people that don't have kids.
Yeah. That's what this movie's made for. If you don't have kids, this movie is for you.
I don't want to subject them
have
to that.
kids.
Are you kidding me? They can't go to school.
Why?
They can't be born. They can't swim in a pool. Like, nah. I
Can't go to the movie theater?
Can't go to the movies.
Like,
Like,
you can't do that anything right now. I mean,
Speaking of which, fuck that nerd at the movie theater.
the one that blew up the place.
Yeah, I was like, who's
Yeah,
this
he looked like a
nerd?
fucking incel. He looked like he was mad. I can't get laid. I'm gonna blow up the theater.
that's
I'm here to blow up Captain Marvel.
that's the Virgin's MO, really, if you think
Yep.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the Lord's Prayer, it's the Virgin's MO.
All right, Jorge. What's the rating system on this film?
Oh man, it is.
How many dead babies?
I knew it was
Oh.
coming. I knew it.
How many scalpels covered in the blood of unborn innocents?
Oh, no,
of
it's,
freshborn innocents.
It's 4 blood crying Jesus statues out of 5.
Oh, okay.
I can go with that. I don't think it's bad. I think the story's there. I think it doesn't have that many plot holes. I think the substance keeps you engaged the entire time.
It's got
You're
some
never-
plot holes. Like he gets the fucking crucifixion done, and then like when he snaps out of it, it's not like his fucking hands are in tremendous pain because he has giant holes in his hands.
Hey, man.
You know, I don't know. That kind of
He's
bothered
on
me.
fucking adrenaline. He's on adrenaline. He
Yeah,
don't feel
and
it.
then like he's in the car and he shaved his head. So what? He's a fucking demon hunter now. What the fuck is happening with that? Like he's got the badass aviators on and like
He's with Jesus 2.0, bro. He's healed.
Oh, dude, the ending. Yeah, when they're driving the Jeep.
yeah, that's
Just
why
into the sunset, bro.
I love that.
there needs to be a fucking. I'm telling you, Constantine crossover. That'd be fucking sick.
I was gonna go with more like, yo, you can like team up with Sarah Connor and shit.
Why? Sarah Connor doesn't
Why
fight
not?
demons.
Why not? Terminator's gonna come through the fucking future to
Why?
kill the fucking second coming of Jesus.
Okay,
Duh, Dylan, pay attention.
you could say that. You could say that about Pride and Prejudice then too. Fucking all of a sudden,
Oh,
T-1000 fucking shows up because it could travel through time. Like okay,
Am I wrong to think that I want that movie now?
Pride and Prejudice and Terminator. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I mean, fuck, you got Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. Why not add Terminator to the mix?
Yeah, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and Terminator. Like hell yeah, dude.
This movie kicks ass.
Sign me up for that
Brought to you by
cavalcade of
Michael Bay.
awfulness, please.
But
Please.
it has to be Michael Bay.
It has to be Michael Bay.
God
no one
damn
else. We
it.
need Solar Flare like a motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. Oh man. Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Go for it.
All right. Anything else? Any sweet nothings anyone wants to say about this film?
I'd probably, if I had to give it a Metacritic score, I'd probably keep it in the upper 70s. Upper 70s, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indubitably sure.
77, 78 probably.
I had fun with it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's
Another
a ride.
update. that I forgot is we're gonna be at Spooky Empire again.
Hooray!
Wada bing, wada bum boom. But we're gonna have a fucking booth this time. We're
And
gonna
the
have some
empty-ass booth, I'll
merch.
tell you that.
The Gabagool himself will be
They're
there.
the Gabagool himself will be there. We're gonna have merch. We're gonna have our barf bags exclusive to Spooky Empire. So
I don't know what that
come all.
means. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
We
A
don't even know what
barf
it means yet.
bag is something that we designed years ago, back when we were doing this podcast, and it's just a fun little bag full of random shit that we put in it. So candies and
It's a goodie bag you get when you leave Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, but it's also gonna have like exclusive prints from Patrick that
Nude-
we're gonna get made, and
Nude
we're gonna
Polaroids of Pat.
yeah, feet pics.
On my feet.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a little fun bag that we'll put we're gonna put together. It's gonna look like, so like the concept is it looks like those old school barf bags they used to get for horror movies back in the day. Because they used to use that as like a added promotion. This movie's so grotesque, you're gonna feel sick to your stomach. But yeah, ours is gonna be full of random shit. We're gonna connect with some people, maybe add some collab.
Not safe for work photos.
Yeah.
Pat's going to
and
have a
then we're also
Buffalo
gonna be
Bill
recording,
shoot.
There, we're gonna be recording live at the Spooky Empire. So we're gonna just be pulling random people from the crowd onto the podcast.
Yeah, I got some questions for these nerds. Come on in.
What's your favorite fucking movie? Saul, get off our fucking show. Who are you, Austin?
No, I don't like this.
Disguise.
Get out. Get out. I don't like this at all. Fuck that. I'm not putting that on there. Get out.
So yeah, that's in December, and it's gonna be the last time us the boys are gonna hang out in person. So
Well, for right now.
for now, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
I just got emotional.
Don't bum everybody out. Come on.
But I think that's it. I think sorry this episode's late. It was planned for last week, and you're getting it this week.
And let's hope it works. let's
hope
hope.
we're
Let's hope we.
here.
Yeah, we're trying a new recording method here, and it's up to me. So let's hope. Fingers crossed, my friends.
Fingers crossed. I got my toes crossed and the fingers crossed. Anyways,
Balls
guys,
too.
as always, I'm Mike.
I'm Pat.
Dylan.
I'm George. I'm ready for bed.
Damn,
All right,
George.
guys, we'll see you next week.